Hey guys, it's Troll 9002 at 10 minutes after 2 in the morning. It's now Monday morning, but it won't be officially Monday morning to me until I wake up in the afternoon for work. So I've skipped the past 2 weeks. I've been going back and forth whether or not to do poems or stories or poems. You guys seem to kind of like the shorter videos, but when I tell my stories, I can't really go that short because my brain won't let me cut it off that fast. And so yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Stories versus poems. Ooh, there's a story in itself. Anyway, tonight's story is called Moonlight and Lightning. The strangest things happen at night when people come home from work. It's me, I'm people. Weird things happen in the dark night that I come home in. I leave in the light and come home at night. The night is not to be any different. This night was not to be any different. One night long ago, I was on the way home from work, and once I got past the lights of town, it's usually pitch black on my way out, the way we like it. Sometimes I get what I call a light show, which is lightning from the clouds that just seems to stay in the clouds because it's so far off in the distance. Most of the time they either move away or are gone before I get home, but I do get a nice light show out of all the flashies. I had the top down on my convertible. It was warm and the stars were out and the moon was full and the wind was blowing through my mohawk wig. Yes, it was a wig. I would wear it so my real hair wouldn't get knotted so bad. It was bright green with black tips. That was a long time ago. In front of me was the light show, and behind me was the full moon. Progressing out to the house, there was a huge bug that was flying right at my car, and I watched it fly up on my hood, and it went up my windshield, and I looked up to see if it flew over my head, and as I looked up, at that moment I saw fog that hadn't settled down to the road yet, and the headlights illuminated it. So it was white clouds above my head pretty much, which was a really neat effect. I felt like I might have been in the middle of a dream. As I turned my eyes back to the road, there was a streak of lightning from the cloud in front of me. It looked like it was reaching out just for me. Anybody who knows me knows I am scared to death of lightning, so that was mighty frightening. And I freaked out, pulled over, and put the top up really quick. Getting back on the road, I'm focused the rest of the way home, thinking of a story my aunt used to tell me that always made me wonder if it wasn't true. She used to say that when the moon was full and the lightning was reaching out, it meant the force between the moon and the lightning was so great because they were fighting that it would create a giant hole in the earth. I would always giggle and go, "Those are just sinkholes, Auntie. Those are sinkholes around here." But she always promised they were not the same. There was something very different about an earth hole. The only way you could get out of the hole that was created was you had to use your God-given talents. That was the only way out. People would discover what their real talents were when they were trapped. Many never made it out, but many have lived to tell the story. I chuckled to myself as I rounded the corner to the driveway, and just as I got to the end of it, a bolt of lightning, another one, reached out for me. I saw it from the window in the car. I freaked out and sped up to the spot where I parked so I could get in quick. As I sprint to the house, I hear no thunder, just almost hypnotized by the flashy in the sky. As I get in, I chill for a while. I decided to take a sleeping pill the doctor gave me for nights like these. Finally, after a while, I feel sleepy, so I go to bed. As soon as my head hits the pillow, it's lights out for me. Of course, you could see just a little bit of the light from the moon reflecting in my room. I have blackout shades that keep my room extra dark in case of a migraine, or lightning, or something else. I'm a sensitive person to a lot of things. I can't explain it. But I know you guys love me anyway, and I thank you. Just a little shot of light can get through so I know whether it's day or night out. But that's it. Usually, once this pill takes effect, I hear, I see, I feel nothing. I'm just toast for 6 hours until it wears off. As I'm sleeping, an earth hole opened and my side of the house broke off and fell into the hole. But I didn't know anything had happened until I smelled a strange scent of marshmallow. I was confused. I opened my eyes thinking someone was playing a joke on me, but it was pitch black. I couldn't see anything, so I just closed my eyes again and went back to sleep. About 4 hours later, I never did find my clock. I opened my eyes again to pitch black, but this time I'm wide awake and my pill must have worn off. But I don't see the sliver of light from the window. Perhaps it's raining outside or it's cloudy. I lay back and my brain starts going. There is no going back now. Once that noodle gets going, there's no going back to sleep. I'm sure there are a lot of people that have that same problem. Y'all have told me about it. I know, I remember, I think of you. Out of nowhere, I hear my aunt's voice say, "You are in a sinkhole. You must use your talents to get out." That was the voice she used to use when she would tell the story. I remember it well. Well, what are my talents, I think to myself. I still smell marshmallow. Well, one of my talents is I can eat, I can sing, and I can sleep. Just as I said the word sleep, a man came crashing through my door on a surfboard. Chocolate came swooshing in behind him like a river. "What in the world?" I holler in excitement as he peeled himself off the marshmallow wall. He said, "Dude, that landing was a perfect 10. Dude, your walls are made out of marshmallow. How cool is that?" I was a little disturbed, thinking he had wrecked my room, and was also very alarmed. I asked him where he came from, how he got there, and so many more questions. First off, he introduced himself as Christian from California. Then he told me he was in the Pacific surfing when all of a sudden he got swallowed by a whirlpool that just appeared, and he just rode the wave. He was on till he crashed through my door. Then he started telling me the story that his grandfather used to tell him. Only in his story, the only way you could get out of the whirlpool was to use your 5 senses in your brain. So if I used my talents with his senses and brain, then we would be out in no time, right? He was a surfer, and you know the stereotype about surfers, but I'm a retail person, and you know the stereotype about us. So I throw caution to the wind. I grab marshmallow off the wall and dip it in the chocolate and start eating. As I get questioned about what I am doing, it dawned on me. He must use his talents too, because we are in a sinkhole, not a whirlpool. So, like I did, Christian threw caution to the wind. I asked him what his talents were. He said, "It's easy, surfing, sleeping, and drawing." He showed me the doodles on his board, with the glow stick necklace he had around his neck. Apparently he was surfing at night when he went down in the whirlpool. Well, that is our one commonality. We can sleep. I told him mine, and I thought I could eat my way out. He laughed at me. He said, I went pretty far into that. I don't think that is going to work. Christian said, "I already surfed through to survive here. Let me see if I can draw a ladder in the marshmallow to climb up." As he did that, I started back eating the wall, and taking dunks of the floor and the wall, and dipping them in the river of chocolate flowing through my room. And he got it, drawn out, but it was totally unable to climb it. The mallow was too squishy. The roof was made of graham crackers, so I used a piece of wood I have for a clothes hanging bar to poke the roof. If it was crumbly like the floor, I figured the chunks on the floor came from the roof, and I could poke a hole through it. And when it felt crumbly, I felt that perhaps I could use my voice, the vibrato of my voice, to shake it loose and make it fall down. So I closed my eyes and I think of a song with all my might. I start singing it in a high vibrato, and it starts to work. And as Christian closed his eyes and used his senses in his brain, he hollered at me to do the same thing, so I did. I closed my eyes and sang as loud as I could when I felt a hand holding mine, and I hear, "Good job, my child." I had no idea whose voice that was, but I was happy someone was holding my hand. Next thing I knew, I opened my eyes and everything was back to normal. My room was my room, the walls were solid. Everything was as if nothing had ever happened. My hand was crumpled around a big puffy comforter. The marshmallow scent I was smelling was the lip balm I used before I went to bed. The dog tore up one of my stuffed animals with the buckwheat in it instead of the polyfill, so that's what I stepped in. There was nothing for the chocolate, so I guess I just had a strong craving for that. I laid there for a while trying to make sense of what I suspect was a dream. Quite interesting, but disturbing as well. Though that dream, along with the car that started it, died a long time ago. Christian made a few more appearances in my dreams after that. I also noticed in the morning, when I woke up, that one of my lumbar pillows that was extra fluffy was missing. My grandpa always told me about the time he had a dream about eating a giant marshmallow, and when he woke up in the morning, his pillow was gone. Hardy har har. What's the strangest dream or dreams you remember having? Also, remember to tell me in the comments if you prefer the poems to the stories or the stories to the poem. Thank you in advance for the participation in my channel. This is Troll 9002, the good troll, signing off for the night. Until next week, drop a comment if you want. Hit the like button if you feel like it. Subscribe if you dare. Have a wonderful week and stay healthy. And on a side note, so you guys can see my eyes, I am so thankful for all my subscribers. There's 102 of you guys now. When I started my channel back in 2009, I really had no meaning for it. For me, it was just video storage. And I really gotta be thankful to Ashtunes, the blog, for putting the idea of being a storyteller in my head. I've had stories written down in books everywhere for a long time. I've been writing since high school. And they're pretty out there sometimes, I know. But I can't be too grateful for you guys. And I know, I feel like I take you guys for granted. I just really want to say thank you to all those who comment, to those like 12 people that like my stuff, to the people at work that watch me without me saying, hey, did you see my video? I don't like nagging people to watch my stuff, but I really am appreciative when people actually just watch it. So to people like Dan the Mountain Man, Chloe's mom, Karen Story, Cynthia, VA Moonshine, all the other guys, BTD, Misfits and Dreamers. I know there's a million zillion more, and I'm sorry, but my brain won't. My brain can't. It's spent. But I thank you all, and I hope you all keep watching my stories and my poems, and I hope they do take you away, because remember, that's the original purpose of my channel, is to take you away from the real life, even if it's just for 13 minutes or so. Y'all take care, stay safe, be well.